America's liberal fact-checkers will crawl over broken glass to try and correct a Republican, but never a liberal. Case in point, Saturday Night Live is getting a pass after taking a bogus shot at former President Trump and suggesting he made up the term debanking.
Trump did have a slight stumble this week while talking about banks, and he introduced an interesting new term called debank.
We're also going to place strong protections to stop banks and regulators from trying to debank you. They want to debank you, and we're going to debank.
I don't know what the hell debank means, but he might have to take de-ambulance to see the doctor.
The geniuses over at SNL should consult a dictionary or talk to a Trump supporter. Debanking is a real term, and it refers to banks closing people or organizations' accounts after perceiving them to be a legal, financial, or reputational threat. And that's not the only fact-checking fail. The left-leaning Snopes website was forced to reverse fact-check of what they did on that goofy image of Joe Biden wearing a hard hat backwards. They initially said the story was false, but then people mocked Snopes and they reversed their ruling to be true. Now, you know, Saturday Night Live has at least a dozen writers, and no one could figure out that debanking was a real term. Is their ideology so over the top that they don't even bother to look things up, Greg?
I think it was the sunk cost of writing a joke. You know, if the joke gets a laugh, which that one did, and a simple Google search ruins all the work you put into that zinger, you're not going to do it. And the problem with this is it's just a joke. But, politics is downstream from culture. So you have a lot of people there who just assume that debank isn't real. But it is. When you avoid doing the research, it's like getting in your car and turning up the radio so you don't hear the knock in the engine. It's like if I don't hear the facts, then everything stands. But the problem is we can hear it. We do have access to the truth, so the joke ends up being on the teller and on the audience. The other thing is, it doesn't affect anyone in their bubble. He probably doesn't know about it because his rich friends are safe, and it doesn't exist if it doesn't affect your liberal friends. Imagine the reverse, a right-wing comic or humorist denying that homelessness exists. He never would because, we actually can't afford to do that. If we were to deny that something existed, we would be raked over the coals, but we also are honest about it. And Snopes, in order to survive, has to redefine facts as assumptions and opinions. So now it was just their opinion that Joe had the hat on right when it was wrong.
But Dana, don't you feel that, with the people on the left now, that remember it was like their truth versus our truth, which could be the fact, or either way. And now you've got Snopes that is reacting to criticism online that Joe Biden was wearing the hat backwards, not anything that they did themselves.
Do you remember after 2016 when all the mainstream media sent out reporters to understand how did they misunderstand America so much?
Yes.
And they had to write all these pieces. Well, get ready for them to write it again, and here will be a great example. This actually did happen to the truckers in Canada. That was one of the reasons that there was the big protest and the revolt. And this is happening to people here in America. The left. This is actually what's weird is that even though they might not realize it's coming from the left, it is the left's main thing. This ESG, environmental, socials, or sustainable government, whatever they call that. This is basically debank is part of the goals. Like, for example, if you own a gun and you used your credit card or you wrote a check, and it's at a store like Cabela's, for example. Where did we just hear that? It was happening last week.
Yep.
So President Trump is onto something, and then the media, they just totally miss it. It is pretty embarrassing, but it'll be fun to read those stories again next year.
All right, Jesse, Saturday Night Live, they've gotten a lot of things wrong about me in particular. I mean, do you think that they're left-oriented?
I think they got that right. It's fun to fact-check a comedy show on Fox News, isn't it? I mean, we are in the front lines of the cancel culture war, so we know about J.P. Morgan Chase, what they did to Trump people, or Nigel Farage was debanked, and I believe the truckers in Canada got debanked for that rally they held.
Dana, you should have brought that up.
Yeah.
Dana, how did you let that slide? I don't know.
You were not listening to Dana. What were you thinking about?
What?
What were you thinking?
You know what I was thinking about? Snopes, Greg, because Snopes said that Barack Obama was born in Hawaii. And now they said his hat was on properly? Like, what else are they getting wrong? You can't trust anything they say.
Oh, boy. Okay, we're going to move right on from that one. All right, what would you like to say?
Nothing about birtherism, for sure. I think that this is part of the reason that you're seeing Saturday Night Live have so much less cultural relevance. And that's not because I don't agree with the point of view. I am no fan of Donald Trump, but it's such low-hanging fruit to take something that you're not even going to do a simple search. He says so many crazy things that you could pick. Have fun with the water and the magnets or whatever you want, but don't do this, because then it also gives people license, not only on the right, but the people in the middle who are just kind of sick of the vitriolic approach to all of this. And they just want to sit down for an hour and a half on a Saturday night or however they're consuming it and just laugh. And I think it is telling that the conversations that we have about Saturday Night Live, where they really have hit a nerve or pushed the envelope, really come from the monologues, like when they have Dave Chappelle back or when they have Bill Burr on. And they basically say to the audience, we don't really care what you think about me. I'm so much bigger than this that I'm going to say whatever I want for the next 7 minutes. And the ratings spike, and that's what folks are looking for. Yep. And I am very curious, and we'll find out soon, what the impact of the changes in these late night shows will have on Jon Stewart when he returns to taking over The Daily Show on Monday nights. It starts February 12th, I think. Because Jon Stewart, obviously no fan of Trump, but also someone who has given himself to veterans causes, who shows up here, which I always appreciate, and does interviews. So that's something I am very much looking forward to.
Up next, dogs aren't safe in liberal cities. A woman clinging to the hood of a car to save her animal.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.